Well, I come from several generations, I guess, of musicians. My great-grandfathers both played music. My grandfather, my dad, my uncles. So it's kind of music all around, everywhere, all the time. So I mean, you're always looking for something that's different from everything else, and not many people were doing any, a lot of serious work with Ukrainian music. Except, there are lots of people playing music, but nobody really looking at it, studying it and things like that. So that was part of what was kind of, I guess, a motivation for that. There's lots. Well, I mean, I'm from Western Canada, so there, I mean, the main things that people would play, obviously the violin it's used in all kinds of cultures, but it's really important in Ukrainian music as well. That instrument called a cymbala, it's like a hammered dulcimer, like a piano with no keyboard. So was very, very popular in Western Canada as well. Some kind of percussion instruments, to different types of drums, kind of a hand drum that people used to play. My grandmother used to play that when she was a girl. Like my great grandfather and her brother played the fiddle, and she played the hand drum. It's called a resheto. It's kind of, my grandmother used to say that to be made from the skin of a bad dog. That made it sound good. But there's lots of others, central part of Ukraine, bandura, that instrument's really popular, and then, later on it became more well known in North America after the bandurist chorus came from Ukraine to Canada, and people from that group traveled around giving, instruction to people, so I learned how to play that. There's all kinds of flutes, different types of Ukrainian flutes. There's Ukrainian bagpipes. There's an instrument called the lira. That's sometimes called the hurdy-gurdy in other cultures, so I play that. There was a time when there was a bigger difference, and now I think it's, there would have been a difference in the days when, people from one part of Canada didn't hear or see people from another part of Canada. Now when I can turn on my phone and see someone in any part of the world and talk to them and see what they're doing, there's less of a difference that way, I think. People still, they can all buy the same recordings, or and come here, and this feels to me like going to a small hall in Alberta or Manitoba. Like, the people are the same. I mean, probably in their day-to-day life, they do different things. They're, lots of these people were steel workers instead of farmers or whatever, but otherwise, like, what they're interested in and how they interact and what they're doing to celebrate their anniversary and whatever, it's kind of the same. And I knew it was here for a long time. I mean, besides playing folk music, I also I taught music in a seminary for a number of years, and so kind of connected with the church, so we kind of have an idea of like where there were Ukrainian churches across Canada. So I kind of knew there was a church here in a community. I mean, the first time I ever was here was last year when I was moving to Newfoundland and had to stop here to get on the ferry, and had a couple of hours to spend, and figured, well, let's just drive around and see what that church looks like we knew it was here. And drove up and happened to see there's lights on in the hall, so we, the door was open. I walked in and had a look, and it was dark upstairs, but there were lights in the basement, so I went down there to see who's in. Men were just having a meeting, I think, or something. They looked at us, what do you guys want? Oh, we just thought we'd come have a look, see what your hall looked like. Oh, what are you doing here? I was going, I'm moving to Newfoundland. Where are you coming from? Alberta. Are you Ukrainian? Yeah. Come on in. You want to have a drink? We'll give you something to eat. Come on in. So it's the same as being any place else. Like, Ukrainians, they're happy to see their own people, and they're friendly, and so